So say goodbye to the sunset, because Mashiach is coming, and this is the last Shabbos in Galus, and the sun's not going to set when Mashiach comes. Alright? So we had a beautiful concept brought up about covering the veil by the wedding, and somebody said, look, it's a minhag to cover, it's a minhag Yisrael, and he brought the Rebbe as a source, saying that a minhag is holy. So I would love to help and clarify what that means. So the girl shows her how she was going to be persuaded not to wear the traditional covering, which is not traditional, because in the earlier generation of Chabad they didn't do it. It's been a fairly new minhag, and it could have been taken from somewhere, but remember, you can always find things from places. And now you get, so she, because of her personality, that she was a self-asserting type and strong, she was able to do it. So she's lucky. Naturally, all strong people are lucky. Your life doesn't get better than your mind does. Someone was davening to Hashem in the times of the Baal Shem Tov. He had some problems with family and community and things like that, and Hashem sent a message to him supernaturally, either through the Igros Kodesh or through the Urim V'Tumim or some way, and the message was, your life doesn't get better than your mind does. Which means when you're educated, you'll be stronger naturally. You won't have to be a rebel. You'll just say, look, this is you'll know who to ask, you'll know which people to ask what questions, even on the side of the, on the kind of like on the Hasidic side. So the gentleman David, he quoted a letter from the Rebbe saying that minhag is holy, which means holy means not up for criticism, which is a bad thing. It's very wrong, because it's a minhag also for people not to have it covered. And why people think that covering is a better minhag than the not covering is because they forget that Hashem also wants people to rejoice and live in Yiddishkeit. As the famous song about Simchas Torah goes, Hashem says they forget about their own sorrows and they come to be happy in my simcha, which is Simchas Torah. So obviously people overlook that, and there's some type of masochist sense that if it's anything that you do harsher is better. If you fast 3 days, like the Chazon Ish would say, they didn't know when Yom Kippur was, if you fast 3 days to be Yotzi Yom Kippur, somehow Hashem likes that. If you put on 2 pairs of tefillin, the Rebbe said if you put on 2 pairs of tefillin, it shows that Chassidim are more frum. That's not true. The Gra, the master of halacha, said that there are 64 or 34 versions of tefillin that to be yaitze. And tzitzis the same. I think you need 22 pairs minimum to be yaitze tzitzis. So the Gra said you stick with 1. So no, we're not better people because we force little kids to put on 2 pairs. I remember my putting on 2 pairs. I felt it was a way of proving commitment and sacrifice, so I would miss breakfast in camp every morning when I just started putting on tefillin. At the time we were putting on 2 pairs immediately. At the time it was 1994, right before Gimel Tammuz. We started with the 2 pairs immediately. So if I would have seen what the Gra wrote, I would have seen that this is the right way. But I didn't know that, and our parents were not self-assertive and strong. But if the Rebbe saw that you were strong and you were self-assertive, the Rebbe would respect that and appreciate it. The Rebbe had many strong friends who couldn't live in Crown Heights because they didn't have anything in common with the people who are very badly educated in Torah and science. So what is a minhag? A minhag is anything that people did, whether it's chopping up little animals to forgive them for their sins, or whether they got rid of the animals, because the prophets were very smart and clever, and they said, well, it's an abomination. If you do it, then you don't do it this way, that way, and you don't really mean it. And then they got rid of it altogether. Now we have nobody makes a barbecue and cuts a little piece of lamb chops for Yahweh, even though the Hebrew God is very specific how he wants his barbecues done. And he likes year-old lambs. He really likes meats, if he likes anything. Well, if we know anything about this God, is he likes meats. So no, even the most Hasidic guy doesn't do it by a barbecue, doesn't cut a piece symbolically or some sort. So we really got rid of it. So we do change. So And if you want to know more about that, you can ask, and I can give you the full, you take a 2-hour course on that, it'll be much more clear to you. So about the minhag, the argument is that it's holy, and that's not a good argument, because the minhag to not cover is also by very special people, very, very holy, some Lamed Vavniks. I don't know if you guys know this, but a lot of women were Lamed Vavniks. I don't know why in Crown Heights this wasn't a well-known thing. I was surprised. And one of these Lamed, at least 4 Lamed Vavnik tzaddikises did not cover their hair by the chuppah. There was reasons for it, because the Shechina was beaming and reflecting and sunsetting and sunrising and things like that. Supernaturally, of course, Ba'olam HaRuchni, and Ba'olam Hazeh Gashmi, and Asiya Ruchni, and Asiya Gashmi, and all that stuff. Oh, this is a nice, cool car. I like the way the light up in the front, the symbol was like a... So anyway, if you have any questions, you could get answers even from the Chassidish people, mostly the people who worked in Lahak and the Rebbe Sichos, especially the smart guys who were more of the academic type. They're people that